I'm gonna keep it a buck. Ellie's kind of annoying me this episode. I get it's just episode 1, but she's just and it's her job. It's supposed to be. She's kind of triggering me. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. But we're finally back in the beautiful handcrafted world of The Last of Us from the PlayStation exclusive. Season 2 just dropped. It seems like forever since we got Season 1. But there's so much to break down and talk about. So I'm doing a separate video for each episode. So if you guys want to know more, just click the follow button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Did you play the game or did you not? Because that really varies on people's reviews of this. I played the first game, loved it, phenomenal. Didn't play the second game, so I'm going into this kind of blind. I do know some stuff that happens. But this game the show pretty much starts off where we get an introduction to pretty much Abby. And we kind of get this idea that the stuff Joel does is now having repercussions. And we can see that later on throughout the first episode with everyone's favorite, the chopped of us, Ellie. And I'm sitting there and you can just feel the awkwardness and the tension with their scenes. And part of you as the viewer, you're like, what did I miss? Did I miss something? Why is Joel and Ellie having this fight all the time? Why is there so much tension? Last thing I thought, Joel pretty much saved her life. And now we're kind of seeing all the repercussions, which is one of the best things I like about this show. Is stuff you do in this world happens later on to other characters. So everything has a purpose, it has a meaning, and it kind of all ties in together. But if I know correctly, in the game, it does not kind of start off with Abby, and we don't really know what her goal is. At the beginning of this show, we pretty much, it's right away. She's like, yeah, I want him dead, and I want it slowly. And I want to do, and we're like, we get it, dude. You dislike Joel. I'm sure we'll find out later on. Those of you that played the game, let me know in the comments if that's true or not. But then we kind of get, most of the episode takes place over in the town that they've been building, pretty much where it left off over on season 1. And we see if they've slowly progressed. The town has grown. There's more people working there. Everyone kind of has designated jobs. Now they did at the end of season 1, but it's kind of more locked in, more tight knit. Everybody knows what they need to do. And we see Joel just kind of dealing with all this turmoil, everything that happened in season 1. So much going on, from the loss of his daughter to freeing Ellie, to trying to understand the whole situation, as Ellie could have possibly been the cure to everything that's going on, and how she still got bit but she didn't turn or anything like that. And as far as we know, she's like the only person out there, at least in their realm, that has had this happen to them. So he's kind of dealing with all this, and he's pretty much heartbroken the whole time. He's moping around. He even goes to therapy, which I get the scene. I understand it, but I didn't really like it. Like, I just don't feel like that scene is Joel. You can let me know in the comments if you're like, dude, I feel like I could see Joel at therapy all the time. Okay. I mean, I guess. I just don't picture that after playing the first game. I don't see Joel being a guy who sits down at therapy. But we can see even the therapist has problems. She's like, let's just let everything out in the air right now. I hate your guts. I want you dead. I don't like you because you killed my husband. And I know you had to do it, but the way you did it is why I'm upset. And as a guy who didn't play the second game, I'm sure we'll see more of this, maybe even in flashbacks later on in the show. And I think her husband was already cast in the show, so I'm sure they'll tell us more about that. Because as of right now, episode 1, a lot of us that didn't play the game are kind of like, why is Joel and Ellie upset? What do they mean Joel killed the lady's husband and stuff like this? At least I don't remember in season 1, so let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. And then it kind of just goes around town, and we see Ellie just being in her rebellious teenage years. I get it. I know that's what she's supposed to be doing. I know it's supposed to show turmoil and discourse between her and Joel, but it's kind of annoying, but it's fine. I'm riding along with it. I can't wait to see it kind of mellow out after a bit. But she's over there out there with Tommy, going through shooting just clickers and some of the more infected and stuff like that, working on her aim. And she's like, I don't want to be stuck on guard duty this whole, like, send me out on patrols, please. You know I'll behave, and this and that. And he's eventually like, okay, Joel doesn't want you out there. Whatever. You're going to go either way. Here you're going. Here's where you're going to meet up. Everything's good to go. And here's where we kind of meet one of her, I guess, love interests, if you could say. Dinah, I believe is how her name is pronounced, Dinah or Dina. But then she comes into Ellie's room, and she's pretty much like, yeah, let's go on this patrol. And you can see them talk. You could feel more, Ellie seems interested in Dinah than Dinah seems in Ellie, at least at the beginning of this episode. So then we're kind of just chugging along. They go on parole. And of course, dude, this kind of annoyed me. I'm not going to lie. But so they see a blood trail. And they go back to whoever's in charge of the group. And they're kind of like, yo, we should go and report this. And 3 of them are like, let's go back, report it, and tell everything that's going on. Ellie's, she's gone. She's taken off on her horse. So does Dinah. Dinah goes after her and it's like, oh, well, wouldn't be patrol if you don't bring back any information. And I get that. And then I think there's something, I can't tell. There's some part of me that thinks Ellie, since she knows she's pretty much immune, is a little more cocky, a little more willing to go do stuff than other people would be. Now, Dinah does go after her and stuff like that, but I do wonder if that's going to catch up with her. Because then they pull up to where a bear is just shredded, guts out, everything. There's a couple infected in a warehouse. So they go inside, two of them, I mean, pretty much without permission. And then they go and inspect it. And then I love that you can see parts of the video game in there, right? So Ellie goes down, picks up a bottle, pretty much chucks it, distracts the clicker or whatever you want to call it, the infected, and then they kill it. And she ends up falling down to the very bottom of the warehouse. But I like little instincts to where you can see that they took stuff from the game and threw it in the show as well. So if you played any of the games, you kind of pick up on that kind of stuff, which is great. But then, so Dinah's trying to find a way around to get back down to Ellie, and Ellie realizes something because there's an infected down there, and they're now more advanced from what she can tell. They can lure her in. They can do certain stuff. You could see you could see the infected lure her in with kind of like sounding like a female in danger, like crying and whines and stuff like that. Then also different tactics and the way it attacks. So once Ellie and them get back, and I love that they showed this scene where they get in trouble for doing stuff, because the stuff you do in this world affects other people. This is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying at the beginning with Joel's decisions. That's why there's this whole turmoil between Joel and Ellie. So they go before, I guess, their council or their court, Tommy, his wife, and a bunch of other, I guess, higher ups in the town. And they discuss it. They're like, was this worth going to do? People could have got hurt. And they're like, Ellie pretty much describes them as well. She's like, well, honestly, it's weird because it seemed like the infected are kind of growing more intentional. Like they're getting smarter and understanding. They can lure us in and do tactics and stuff like that. And they're kind of just, they're taking notes of it because they don't think Ellie's lying. They think Dinah's just making it up to agree with Ellie. But then they kind of get an idea like, okay, if this is true, we got to do something. Like we got to be careful. They dismissed because it's New Year's. It's 4 hours out. Everybody's excited except for pretty much Joel and Ellie. Dinah's like, you coming tonight? And she's like, well, I broke up. Dinah's like, I broke up with my mans for the 100th time. I'll be there. I'm going to have some fun. Ellie goes, gets ready pretty much for the event. Joel walks in, sees the guitar, and is like, the strings are broke. He's trying to be a dad and like a father figure, whatever you want to call it. And in terms with Ellie, she is just not biting it. And I think Joel is finally understanding why the reason is because of his lies and stuff with the Firefly and where he took Ellie and everything that happened. In his mind, he's over here like, all I did was, I was nice. I did what I thought was good and helped her, but I guess she just doesn't like it. And this stuff's boiling up between them, and you can just feel the tension in the scene. Ellie leaves. She goes to the event. She has fun. She ends up dancing with Dinah and stuff. And then out of nowhere, Dinah and Ellie pretty much start, then I don't want to say making out, but they do end up kissing. And then Ellie was kind of shocked like this. I guess she thought, she was like, well, Dinah has a boyfriend. I didn't think she would be somewhat interested in me. And this is a pretty good scene from the game over to the show, which is awesome. I enjoyed it. And then pause. And then after that, someone walks in and pretty much calls them whatever, like a dyke or something. And then it was like, this is a church event. It's a family event. What are you guys doing that in public here? Joel walks up, shoves him, and Ellie is still mad. It does not matter what Joel does. Ellie is still triggered at Joel, and he's still trying to figure out why. But the event's happening. This is kind of where the show ends for episode 1, and it leaves us with something curious. You see there's kids running around with sparklers. They're like, yeah, let's go. The event, everything's happy. What's going on? One of them drops it, and we can see inside the pipeline that they were trying to fix at the beginning, there's like some type of infected in there. I don't think that's how it worked in the game. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. But now we've got a thought of, is there some type of infected going to leak into the town? And then it even ends with Abby and the rest of her group. And now we know, because at the beginning of the episode, we saw Abby. She's like, I want to kill Joel. Are these people going to come in and try and act civilized? Like nonchalant? Like try and be friends with them and try and get in the town and then kill Joel? Or is this just a full-on assault with a lot of people trying to ravage the town and kill a bunch of people? I don't know. I'm still waiting to find out. You can let us know your thoughts on this in the comments. But let me know when you comment down below how much you liked the episode. I'm giving this one, I'm not giving it an 8. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10, maybe a 7.5. I wouldn't go higher than that. But when you comment down below your thoughts, let me know if you played the game or didn't play the game and how you like it so far. By the way, I'm going to review every episode, so just follow, subscribe, and I'll keep you guys up to date on all breakdowns. Thank you guys so much for watching.